Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Jive. Jive is a popular culture commentary session where I discuss everything pop culture. Unfortunately, our pop culture is facing a serious epidemic of crystal meth. Today's episode is special because I have my brother Malcolm and he is here to talk about drugs, particularly Guka and its undying effects under the hashtag Guka Nderekushaya, Guka. Malcolm.
Briefly, we are going to define drugs. Drugs is known as a substance, solid, liquid, or gas that changes the structure of the body. It either affects the way people feel, the way people think, the way people see, taste, hear, or behave. So in this regard, we are saying it changes the way a normal person behaves or reacts. Crystal meth is known under various names in various areas. Some know it as Guka, some call it MUTORIRO, some call it DOMBO, some call it BUWE or ice. This depends on where you come from. But these are various street names. There are various reasons to why youths are taking MUTORIRO. Peer pressure, experimenting, family and friends or society. On family and friends, you might be brought up in a family where people take drugs and alcohol. So you grow up thinking it's normal to take drugs. Furthermore, there are also possible consequences to taking MUTORIRO. They are hallucination, whereby you start to see things that are not there. There is sweating, whereby your body temperature rises. You also suffer from high blood pressure, high beat rate. These are short-term effects, but they have dire effects on the long run. On the long run, you either suffer from psychosis, cancers, different cancers, starting from the lips, down the throat, to the stomach. Also, you can also suffer from schizophrenia, whereby one's mental state is now at risk. More so, talking about crystal meth.
Guka riri mutsinga megeto youth vari kutsomwa pasina akuva maisa futi vakastika majents akastika majets paroda akastika mareds pakuda mets mastreets akaticha hobos akachukuchisa madreams aya ndikona bigger picture handina time yekusipakwa nemamemes aya madreams aya ava mafans akazinza mawins aya trolling the artist is dying inside depression chills aya I'm on the chest for real.
Socio-economic is affected, whereby there are high levels of prostitution and crime. Where I stay, there are some girls who now trade their bodies for sex just to get a fix. Then for the boys, they now engage in antisocial behaviors like engaging in crime, whereby some end up in jail. Talking about drugs and drug use, name calling has a huge effect on these people who are taking drugs. Vanhu vanotodawo our love, vanhu vanotodawo our attention, our compassion, and this is a disease that needs to be helped. They really need to be helped to fight this disease. All we need is to get together, unite, and then fight this disease. More so about Guka, MUTORIRO, crystal meth, it takes up a year for a person to get addicted. This only depends on the biological makeup of the person. So we're saying there are possible consequences whereby some are insignificant while others are extremely serious. So get informed. Guka is a stimulant. It acts upon the mind. It affects your way of thinking, right? And also, we call upon the government, the civil society groups, the community leaders, help us. We have a generation to lose if we do not step up. More so, drugs are taking over. We used to believe in a simple society where we grew up playing as children. But as of recently, people are engaging in activities that have major repercussions. These repercussions will affect the already strained health department as a result of COVID. But as of now, we urge that let's get together, let's fight, let's stay away from drugs. I urge you, let's stay away from drugs. Drugs are not cool. Being sober is cool. You can actually have fun despite taking drugs. You can actually be cool despite taking drugs. There is nothing like peer pressure. Sometimes it is us conforming to an ill decision. Let's talk to someone. Let's engage with our parents. Let's talk with our friends. It is very sad to see how these things are getting trendy where I live. As young as 16, someone is already taking drugs. These are the people that are the next generation. These are the people that are supposed to be at work. But right now, we are stay at home. We call upon the government in pain. Help us. The civil society, help us. The community leaders, this is now a problem in our backyard. This is something that we must talk about. This is something that we cannot continue to give a deaf ear, to turn a blind eye. This is something that we must look at and address it. This is something that requires everyone from all walks of life. This is not a one person's problem, but it's a problem for all of us. We ask for the government again, the civil society, the community leaders, please help us. Drugs are killing the youth. It will be very sad for the next generation to be wiped out as a result of drugs. Let's come together. Let's unite. Let's fight. Guka Nderekushaya. Guka Nderekushaya. Guka Nderekushaya. Buka Guka. Buka Guka. There's nothing cool about taking Guka. Yes, you have heard stories. People talking about euphoria, how you stay awake, how you become cool, how you get the street credits. But there's nothing cool about taking drugs. In particular, I still say no to taking Guka. Let's be responsible citizens. Let's not name call those who are taking Guka, who are taking Guka, right? We're saying these people, they have problems. They need help. How best can we help these people? Me and my friends, we come together, we discussed we are going to do this podcast as a social responsibility towards those who are taking drugs. Know the effects of taking drugs. Ngatisiyane inima drugs. Being sober is actually cool. Being sober is actually cool. Right? Let's go to school. Let's be responsible. Right? And also, addiction is a progressive disease. It grows. First, you might start saying, Gucci, I want to experiment with Guka. While you're experimenting with Guka, the trends of using Guka will change to say, now you want to be functional. Unika graft kauda kuita saka, you just want the fix. From being functional, you now go dysfunctional. To say you now take it frequent intervals. From there, you go harmful, and then you are now dependent to Guka. It's very sad that most of us Kogeto, if we get addicted, it's either jazongonza, mashavi, madimoni, right? We do not have proper information about these things. Health facilities to cater for us, they are quite few, right? And already with this COVID, talking about drugs is more of a secondary issue. A lot of parents are in mourning. A lot of parents are in pain. Their children who are engaging in drugs, their livelihoods are messed up. Let's put it across this way. If you are taking drugs now and you are addicted and your health is at stake, then you get employed in an industry. Will you be able, or will you work? It is something that will be of the unseen. Let's come together. Let's say no to drugs. Guka Nderekushaya. Hashtag Guka Nderekushaya. Buka Guka. I repeat, Buka Guka. Let's all come together. Let's talk about this. This is the problem we have in our backyard. We can no longer ignore it. I call upon the government again. I call upon the civil society groups, the community leaders, everyone in the society. This is the problem we are faced with. The real criminals of drugs are the traffickers, the peddlers, the swindlers. Please take an action towards these people. We ask dearly to our government, to our leaders. We as the youth, we come with a sad heart. We are in pain. This is something that needs change. We must unite to fight Guka. We'll keep on making noise on various social medias. Buka Guka, Guka Nderekushaya.
Thank you, Malcolm, for an educative drive. We leave you with the hashtag Buka Guka and Guka Nderekushaya. And don't forget to mask up, sanitize, and go get that vaccine.